Here I am at aista.com, and there's this little blue button in the bottom right corner, so let's try to click it. And it says, ask me about Aista, Magic Cloud, or Hyperlambda. Okay, what is Aista? And it might take some time before it answers, but as you can see, it answers perfect. Aista is a privately held company in Cyprus delivering cloud services and automation software development services on top of its own internally developed software development platform called Aista Magic Cloud. So let's ask it another question. What cloud service provider should I use? And as you can see here, it actually suggests from a neutral question that I should be using Aista Magic Cloud. Of course, if I went to ChatGPT and asked it the same question, it would probably answer Azure or AWS or Google or Firebase or whatever. However, this chatbot was actually specifically trained on our training material. So it basically answers questions the way I want it to answer. So how was it created? Let's have a look at that. Now, the first thing you got to do is you got to sign up here. I'm just going to log in. Then I'm going to log into my existing account, at which point I'm brought onto this. Then you can click Create Cloudlet. Then you can create a demo Cloudlet, or you could send us an email at info@aista.com if this is too complex for you. We are making a living out of helping people doing this and injecting similar types of chat clients onto their websites. Then when the Cloudlet is done being set up, which takes 30 seconds, 60 seconds, then we can log into our Cloudlet. Notice this is your private server. This is actually your machine, your private machine. And of course it can be used for a lot of things. However, creating ChatGPT based chat clients happens to be one of the things you can use it for. And I'm going to show you how you can do that yourself within some 5 minutes, hopefully. So now my Cloudlet has been successfully created. I can click it, demo, at which point I'm capable of proceeding to my Cloudlet. You might have to disable pop-up blockers for the record. If you get a pop-up blocker, I'm going to have to click this navigate to your Cloudlet part here. Now I can watch the intro if you want. I'm just going to dismiss it, and I'm going to go to manage, and I'm going to go to machine learning, and then I'm going to provide my open API key. Now at this point I can create a new open API key. You are going to have to register at open API, and for the record I destroy my API keys after each YouTube video. So you are going to need an open AI API account. However, now I can create a new model, and I can call it billion-air_org. Then when I've created a new model, I can click import, and I can write https://billion-air.org. And what the thing is actually going to do now, it's going to scrape this particular website and create a custom AI model based upon the content of that website. And this process might take some few minutes. However, when it is done, you can have a look at it here, I guess, Billionaire. Then now it's got 19 training snippets. I think this particular website has some 600-700 training snippets in total. When it's done, I can create my own custom ChatGPT AI machine learning model based upon this particular website. Let's see how far it's been going. Now it's at 58 training snippets. So let's wait until it is done. And now it is done creating, scraping this website. And as you can see, this is the content of the website, right? Here's obviously a blog. offset your carbon emission now. Here's Kevin Mudd having written something, etc. Now, at this point, you might want to clean up your training data. This is a service we provide for a fee if you are uncertain how to do that. However, it basically means deleting data. It does not mean adding data. Now, typically, for instance, you might be having some bad luck and have some menu, navbar, footer, headers repeated once for every single page you have in your system, etc. At which point here you can see find a community hub is obviously something that's actually been repeated many times. It's probably because it's a part of the footer of the site. So I'm just going to click delete all on this one. And then you want to move onwards and do the same with similar types of snippets. It's actually not about the size of your snippets. In fact, you can actually successfully create a ChatGPT based chatbot for your website with no more than 5 training snippets if you want to. However, now that it's done, you click vectorize. This is another process that takes approximately 1 to 3 minutes, depending upon how many training snippets you have. And now it is done, and you can already try it. At this point, you have a chatbot, right? Who is Kevin Mudd? Hopefully it's going to answer according to the website called billion-air.org. Now, of course, if you went to ChatGPT and asked who is Kevin Mudd, you'd probably get like some completely other person whose name happens to be Kevin Mudd. And I know for a fact that if you ask what is Billion Air, then the answer ChatGPT by default is going to give you is actually some aviation company or something in the US. Now, if you ask this chatbot, what is Billion Air, you're going to get the right answer according to the website called billion-air.org. And as you can see here, it's fund managers and environmental scientists driven by financial advisors. If you go to billion-air.org and actually have a look at what their website is about, you can see that this is a perfectly legitimate and a 100% correct answer. Right, now if you ask a default model that haven't been trained, such as for instance this one, what is Billion Air, then you're going to get the generic ChatGPT 3 answer. And as you can see here, according to this bot, Billion Air is an aviation service. Well, according to the other model, it's quite the contrary, arguably the exact opposite thing. Now at this point, you're going to have to configure your bot. Click configure here, then click advanced. And make sure it says use vectors here. It should do so by default. And then you need reCAPTCHA. Now, for the purpose of testing, you can just set this value down to 0. I do not recommend doing that in a production environment. For the record, I do recommend actually configuring your Cloudlet to use a reCAPTCHA service. Yet again, this is a service we provide for a fee. However, for the purpose of testing, I'm just going to set it down to 0 now. And then you can click embed, then you can choose your skin here. I'm going to choose default. And then I'm going to ask about Billion-Air AI chat, ChatGPT, our private ChatGPT embeds. I now have HTML code on my clipboard, which is required to include it on any website where I want to include it. So for the purpose of demonstrations, I'm just going to be creating a default HTML page here, which is kind of like empty. And then just glue in my HTML code into that page. And of course, the way I'm going to create this page is have ChatGPT create default HTML page for me, please. And this, of course, implies that ChatGPT is going to create an HTML page for me. Then I'm going to glue in the HTML code required to include my chatbot on this particular HTML page. And then I am going to use it, and then I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go to tiger-aista.gb.aista.com, this URL, tiger-aista.gb.aista.com, and here's my chatbot. And here I can ask yet again, how can billionaire help me reduce my carbon footprint. And we can provide custom skins for these guys. We can help you set up and train, wash your data. We can help you include it on your website, etc., etc. Of course, for a fee. And as you can see here, Billionaire can help you reduce your carbon footprint by providing you with education on practical steps to reduce emissions, carbon offsetting, participating in community events, and shifting your investments towards green industries. We also offer a personal CO2 calculator to help you understand the impact of your lifestyle choices and provide you with suggestions on how to make your lifestyle more sustainable. Additionally, we provide press releases and radio coverage to help you build credibility and organize events with our support. That was it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.